This is episode 8 of DNA in Games, a podcast series all about highlighting the disabled and neurodiverse talent in the games industry. I'm your host Chris Goodyear, and this podcast was created to help normalise the conversation of disability and neurodiversity in the industry by chatting to other disabled and neurodiverse game developers just like myself. I hope this podcast helps you see the identities that are often left out of the discussion when it comes to representation in the industry, and encourage others like ourselves to break into the industry and make games. Okay, so I've just hit recording. I think I always do that. I'm just like, oh yeah, I need to edit out the start. I always end up rambling rather than just get into the damn episode already.
You're cool.
But yeah, so hi, welcome to another episode of DNA of Games, a podcast that's all about the disabled and neurodiverse people that work in games and around games. And with me today, I have Neera, who's better known as Mahatmama. There's a little bit of alliteration there across her social media platform because, she is a content creator and one that is brought to my attention via her honest blogs, her writing about gaming in her life and how that impacts her and how her health impacts gaming. And yeah, it's lovely to sort of have that come across my Twitter, come across my screen, because it introduced me to you and to who you are as a gamer and a content creator, because you are one of the probably stronger advocates out there that is so like, hey, I do gaming, dude, like my health has made it, I'm better or shitty at the moment, and he's just sort of like that sort of person who's just so real about it. And I think we need more real people when it comes around disability and health conditions, because everybody kind of skirts around the subject, especially people who are more able-bodied, and that's why we get to you. But do you want to say hi and give it your own little introduction?
No, I actually like what you said better, honestly. It made me sound a lot better. I was like, oh, that's sweet. Oh. I do gaming, and I like to talk about it. I like to write about it. I like to play the games, obviously. Yeah, it's fun, and it's really helped me in a lot of ways, just be a person.
Yeah, that's kind of a really quite frank way of looking at it. Just go like, you feel normal from gaming.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know which part you want to go through here, but like that's that's how I look at gaming. It gives me the ability to have a social life without having to leave my home. And that is really important.
Yeah.
And
so do you want, before obviously you get into your whole the whys of gaming, maybe you want to give a little bit of a sort of a brief overview about how you identify the health conditions that impact your life. I know you've gone through the mill several times.
Yeah. Well, I've been sick my whole life. It's a great time. I was adopted, and I had liver disease from my birth mother, and so that's hepatitis B, and it made me sick my whole life. And I was known. Everybody in the community knew I had it, so I was kind of ostracized.
Yeah.
So that affected me, and I also had an aneurysm at 25, and I had 2 brain surgeries. So my life changed a lot, and I look like a normal person, but I really cannot live a life like other people. So gaming has made me be able to do that.
So yeah, I think it's nice that you kind of have this hobby, or I don't really like calling it a hobby. I just it's more like an outlet like in life for yourself. Is games something that is just coming now, or has it always been a part of your life in terms of you were a gamer from a young age, or was it something more coming out now?
I think that this is where it's funny, is because I did have some like I had a game or two. I had a PlayStation 1. I got a PlayStation 2 only for Guitar Hero. And by the way, I got a PlayStation 2 whenever the PlayStation 3 was already out. So that's how like but I couldn't afford to play games at that time because it was just really expensive. Um and so I kind of got into gaming as a mom and so yeah, like I'm kind of a late bloomer gamer or whatever. But yeah,
There you
I
go.
got
Like,
here to play with my kids and stuff. So
it's where you get to use the line, "No, I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom."
I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. So
It's
no.
wonderful because that's kind of like, the good thing about games is it should be accessible to anybody, and it has all types of people that love games and play games. And I love that. I guess your proper introduction was through like motherhood, because most people will still associate gaming as a teenage thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, and it's as a parent, I see a lot of people like, sorry, I like get I'm messing with my bangs because this is just how I am as a person. I see a lot of parents like downplay the importance of gaming. And I'm like, no, don't do that because there's so much that we can do with gaming and that we can teach with gaming and teaching kids in ways that they don't think they're being taught kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really good. It's a wonderful way to like bond with your kids.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, definitely. I don't have kids myself, but I do have nephews, and it always has been the way I've bonded with them. The easiest is through gaming, and they're both like proper little gaming nerds. So I'm sorry to my sister, it was bound to happen.
that's sweet. No, it should be a family thing. There was a time whenever people used to like get together and play board games and stuff, and some people still do that. And
Yeah.
I kind of want to take that idea and like apply that with gaming.
Mm.
I mean, like they've got the Jackbox games, they've got, Nintendo games, like they're good party games.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful activity to do. So,
Yeah, that's really cool. And obviously now you use gaming as a way to express yourself through your content creation, whether that's your writing with the blogs, everything, your Twitch stream, and I guess I'm wondering, and I think people that are listening will be wondering, is kind of like, did you always think that you might be able to do something with games as in your sort of content creation, or was it kind of a natural thing that came around?
no, God, no. I did not expect to have any sort of. I didn't expect to be here at all. And I'm like so glad to be here. um, it was just really quick. It was that um, Game Pass came out. I was able to play a lot of games, and I saw something that I was like, wow, why are we not using games that obviously have a storyline and using it, with a narrative storytelling with our stuff? And I said, well, I know there's other people doing this, but I'm going to do it my way. And I really like where that's gone. That you can just make a lot of cool points, and in the end, video games are art. A lot of people work very hard on them. So,
Yeah, again, I've same mentality for myself, and it's nice that you got there, you understood it as a gamer. It's like pretty much straight away, because again, that sort of people have a lot of stereotypes around gaming still, and what games can do. They just think it's kind of like a childish thing, or it's now all modernized and it drains all your money, sort of thing. But yeah, it's got so much more strength that obviously you identify it a lot with. Um, Obviously, with your writing, and then you sort of link a lot with the sort of accessibility of games in terms of like your mental health, or with your whether you're going through peaks and troughs with your actual physical health. And you've always said that it's a way for you to, like you say, engage and feel like you're normal. you know,
yeah.
like
Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I could say, like, when was like the first time that you were like, I can still game, like I'm all right, I can do something while I'm like whether in hospital or sort of in bed thinking, oh, it's a bad day at the moment.
I'm trying to think of when the first time was, but I know that it was at the old place before we were evicted, before we got evicted last year or whatever. And I know that I had been feeling sick, and then I realized that Lane would play Rocket League, and I was like, I wonder if I could play Rocket League. And that was how I started kind of getting into gaming, was like, oh, if I learn how to do this thing with my son, then I can still do something with him, because I was so sick that I couldn't go out and play anymore. And I didn't want to lose that relationship with my kids at all. And with their gaming, you get to see a lot of their personality. Like, what games do they like? Layla likes to do more of, like, Stardew Valley and, Sims. And Lane and I like to get on and play Apex. And it's neat. It's really neat.
Yeah, so I guess that from that it naturally evolved into, like, with your Twitch stream, you tend to do a lot of family gaming sessions, so it's like the whole family's involved in it. Was that just a natural, like, progression from, like, the early age of just gaming to going, oh, you know what, we'll just stream this online?
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to show people what it actually was like to play games with your kids.
Mm.
And because a lot of parents, you can kind of be like overwhelmed. And it's not that we're not trying to be cool and hip, it's that technology is super hard. Like, I'm sitting here not on streaming right now because I got to rehook up my stream stuff. So it's daunting, but I wanted people to see what good can come of it if you do it.
Mm.
So, and just be like, "Oh, that's how she does it," or, "Oh, okay," you know, and then see the little jokes that you have, and the little things that you can only get if you play games with your kids.
It's funny that I think about it. Like, I don't often see many Twitch streamers or gaming streamers from the viewpoint of a mom. Like, it's always, obviously, whether it's family, it's kind of like they're just the addition, like, to the guys, the fathers, or the kids are doing it, and they kind of like pop on as a cameo. It's never really like the viewpoint of a mum in the family, like, hey, I am the main focal point that you're coming into my stream. It's like from the mum's perspective. And what made me laugh in some of yours is just when you sort of, like, you bring up, like you're playing Apex, and it's just like, wait, how do I do this? Wait. It's just a
Yeah, I'm
typical
like,
mum
this is
thing.
what
It's just
it's
like.
like. This is what it's like to play video games with your mother, and or your girlfriend or your wife or something. Just, getting people that you normally wouldn't see involved in video games, and showing people how to introduce them. And that was really funny. It was Greg, my husband, that really he encouraged me to do it. And people love whenever Greg's on there and stuff, and they want to see him. And he's like, no, I don't want to do face cam because it's your stream. He doesn't
Mm,
want to change the story of the stream. He wants
yeah.
to be a side character. And I was like, oh man, why? But it's sweet.
Yeah, yeah, it
It's
honestly is, and it's so great that he's so supportive of that and understands it, like, what it is for you, rather than sort of, like, say, taking the spotlight away from you, or it becoming about you two both as a couple streaming, rather than just it's your family, it's everything about you. And I guess the question would be, like, as a content creator, then, are you very conscious about, I guess, that sort of that narrative story that you're trying to tell? Because obviously content creators are storytellers in my eyes, and whether you've got a story that you want to tell, but otherwise you wouldn't be doing that. And does that play a role in your mind then when you're doing these things, like, what am I trying to tell?
I want it to be real and authentic, and this is literally my life. I mean, it's so it does I do have to be careful about what I say and what I show and who's on, how much time, whatever, but
Mm.
I I mean, it is all us. It's all here, and it came natural.
Mm.
And it seems like it's my way into the world. And that's why I think that we are also okay with it, is because it's kind of like, oh, mommy's gonna go talk to her friends. Okay, so
Um, yeah, okay, I had a question. To my from there. So obviously, like we've discussed before, like I mentioned before, that you talk quite honestly about your health, whether that's writing or what, Twitter, whatever. It's like, when did you suddenly click it together as like a content creator? Actually, I'm going to talk about this, or I need to talk about this, and show that quite raw viewpoint of you.
I think I started doing it. I mean, it was just on Facebook, and I had a lot of like friends and family support, and I am so thankful for all of my like really cool friends in Appalachia, West Virginia, everywhere around. They really cared about me, and they had seen my story. I mean, some of the people that did follow me had, I mean, they had witnessed everything that went on. So they were really interested in what went on after. Um, I forgot what I was saying though. It, oh
Okay.
yeah, it came naturally, and I did it because I wanted for everybody to know that invisible illness is very strange and weird and hard to explain. So you basically have to see it in action.
Yeah.
So it's like people see me doing these really cool things, but then they also see on my Instagram, or they read like, oh, yeah, I fell and I broke my ass the other day. That's cool. Or, and then they know, and then they see the video out and they're like, oh, wow, she still shot like that. It's like, yeah. Um,
Mm.
so I just want to show that you can do really cool things even if you're sick, and don't count yourself out, because I
Mm.
did it for way too long. So.
Yeah. Is there any reason why you kind of waited so long to sort of be like that, or do you think, was it just a case of you didn't have that, I guess, safe space, or that comfort to know that you no matter what you put out there, you'd be okay because you have your family around you have your friends around you?
I did not have the confidence before, and I still, I anybody who does content creation, they probably deal with some sort of anxiety. I mean, you're kind of, I think that whenever you are a content creator, you're sort of not allowed to have things. you're you're not allowed to have problems. I mean, like, you can have a problem and still be a content creator.
Mm.
um ow, I just hurt myself. um but I want to show what it really is like to create things, and then be proud of it, that what
Mm.
you put out, and then be like, oh no, that sucked, well, I'll try again.
Mm.
So it really is the journey. It's like the art is the life. Life is art.
Yeah, like soon to be your self-help book.
Oh my god, please god, no. Oh, self-help, self-hatred. That's what I would publish, a self-hatred book.
So, if you don't mind, maybe we can take it back a bit into your like younger years, and that sort of school age, sort of growing, where you were, sort of finding your way and thinking about what you could do in life. Obviously, content creator is all about being creative, all about writing. Were you always such a writer or a creative person, or was it something that you needed to sort of get comfortable with, like going, hey, actually?
Well, this is lame. I always wanted to be a writer. Yeah, I always wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be an author. And I tried to do it the way that you're supposed to. You go to school and you get a degree, and then I guess you get a job after that, is what I hear. I don't know. But that didn't happen for me. So I really like content creation because it gives people that don't have any other way of getting their voice out there,
Yeah.
because they did not, like, I'm not going to get hired at a publication, bro. That's why I'm doing this myself. like,
Yeah.
because I don't have a degree. I don't look good on paper. Ain't nobody want this. But I still have something to say, right?
Yeah.
And so does everybody else like that. So put your shit out there. And that's what I started doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And you've always been quite honest about saying, you have times where you have quiet periods or times where you're doing a lot, and it's been like yeah, I guess you don't have that pressure of the content creator like factory, because a lot of like channels or whatever, or writers, content creator writers, blog people. That's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, they tend to have to be on it like 24/7 because you have to beat the algorithm effectively, and you always say like oh no, I'm not quite streaming yet, or I have to do it once every while, but or yes, what, I'm going to be like bang bang bang, we're doing a lot this month. And it's kind of,
yeah.
yeah, and it's just that on part obviously with your like health, is that just a way of you just managing it, or your way of being like very honest and like I'm not a 100% person. There'll be days when I'm functioning at 50.
That is how I do it. Yeah. And I want it to be done. So it puts it, I want to set an example, even if I'm just nobody. I want to set an example for audiences that you've got to let people rest. You
Yeah.
cannot expect people to work their asses off for nothing, or even for just I mean, even for anything. People have to rest.
Yeah.
And there's an important thing about rest is your body needs it. So I want there to be more rest in tech, in developing, in all these things. So my feeling is if you like me, you can wait for my content. Cuz what else are you going to do? Not wait? Find
Yeah.
somebody else? You probably will. But they won't do it like me, baby. So not really. God, I'm terrible.
Yeah, so it's interesting, because yeah, you've got you, and that's what you love about you. It's just like being able to do what you want to do, and I'm interested to know kind of what you want to do like next, or like kind of what's on the horizon that you kind of like, right, I want to do something like this, or is it a case of you just want to grow your following?
Oh, I want to see what can happen. I would love to. Right now, I'm trying to get some programs started in Appalachia about game developing, and I'd like to get some things done there. So I want to be helping children and parents be learning technology because Appalachia's been left behind
Hmm.
on technology for so long.
What's the
So,
current state of Appalachia then? Like, obviously, because I know it's quite got rural areas, hasn't it? And I don't think everybody knows exactly kind of what the, I guess, landscape is for gaming and tech.
well, Appalachia is about 20 years behind on a lot of things. Uh, for instance, the hardest issue for us right now for me, is internet access. Whenever we were dealing with the pandemic, and still whatever, but whenever we were doing the homeschooling and whatever, it was really hard because we had a lot of kids that didn't have, I mean, we don't have internet at our house, and it's that we don't have access because the grid isn't there.
Hmm.
So we had to have buses uh, be hotspots and stuff. And what I want to show is that if you had taken interest in gaming, you're basically learning the language of technology.
Yeah.
So that is teaching children young how to work with different UI, how to learn different, like I love that my child my I love that my children can use iOS and Android. They can work a Mac, they can work Windows better than I can. They can work the PS4. They do the Xbox, Nintendo. To me, that is a language and
Hmm.
they are fluent.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
there's a
and
lot of different ways to look at it.
yeah, and obviously you want to get mums more involved, like parents more involved in that sort of tech space as well, and Appalachia then as well.
Yeah, I just want it to be um and everywhere. I mean,
Mm.
everywhere. I want people to look at gaming as something that can be done, especially for children who cannot participate in other kinds of sports.
Mm.
There's a lot of injuries in sports. I injured myself about a bazillion times from my knees and running and stuff. And now I deal with that for the rest of my life. Do I want that for my kids? No. So there
Mm.
are some kids that can do sports, but there are some that really can't. And I want those kids to be able to have, sports like opportunities too. So
Get
they can do that with games.
trying to get esports in schools.
That's what I'm trying to do, dang it. But we'll see how it goes.
How, because like, you know, I guess my interest, if you don't mind sharing, then is kind of like, I guess how your relationship maybe with your parents, how they were with tech with you, and do you think it really influenced you a lot with your children now? And you're being, obviously, because you're very like proactive. I'm wondering whether you've learnt that or it's something that you had to learn.
It is different than my parents. My parents are 72 though. So my parents were older
Mm.
when they got me because I'm adopted. So they were 39 when they got me.
Mm.
And I was 22 when I had Layla.
Mm.
So there was a different age gap. So whenever my parents were raising me, they didn't really understand the importance of technology. That, whenever I was sitting there playing on my MySpace profile doing HTML, they were like, get off of that. And I was like, oh, okay. But I should have been doing that,
Yeah.
I mean, because dang, maybe I would have had a job now. But, oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? But, so I want that to be different for my kids.
Yeah.
And my parents are super cool too. And they get it. Like, they understand about, and they understand that I'm not mad at them and that I'm just making a different choice.
Yeah.
But they are really supportive because my mom comes over, like the grandma, and she'll be like, oh, what's Lane doing? And she'll watch him play Rocket League and ask him questions. And
Oh.
that's great. That's bonding.
Yeah, yeah. How are they involved? Are they gaming grandparents now?
No, God, no. I think my mom is more okay with it than my dad. My mom is like, "Oh, look, they're doing something," and my dad's just like, "What is this crap?" But
we
he's
got
fine.
we got to set your mum up on a stream so that it's her like grandma streaming. They're doing
Oh
like
my God,
asking you
my
questions how to
dad.
set her up. You're asking questions to your kids to how to set you up. The cycle continues.
Jesus, that'd be crazy. I can't. Oh, sorry. I didn't know what that's. I'm sorry, I didn't hear very well.
That's okay. Yeah. So it's lovely now that you can sort of have that positive relationship around gaming and your parents now, and you sort of have a bit more like, hey, gaming is a real thing. It's a job worthy thing as well. To help them understand that a lot more. It's like it's nice that you got that, and yeah, it's lovely that you said that.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Sorry. I was like, "Why?" Sometimes I can't hear, sometimes I'm just old. I don't know if it's I'm old or if it's a stroke or what,
Oh,
but
miles. But yeah, I guess sort of next sort of question, obviously almost getting to the next rate as well. It's like your gaming habits around like your health, because obviously you have periods where you've had quite extreme health conditions sometimes, and how as a family unit sort of you deal with like your gaming needs, your accessibility needs going up and down. Do your kids understand that some days you'll be very on the ball, best gamer mum ever, but then other days that you might need a little bit more assistance or a bit more very support there to game with them. Do they
Oh,
understand that?
yes, yes. My children, unfortunately, they've, grown up with me their whole lives. So they know that I've been sick my whole life. And they really adjust well to it. And they want to just be able to spend time with me. So sometimes, if I'm not feeling well, like right now, I can go to the other room and lay down and then we can play the game instead of me sitting at the computer, which is that's usually how I stream.
Yeah.
But I've been feeling not so good lately. So we had it away and now I have to rehook up the stream. But but yeah, the kids they understand sickness, and I'm glad that I've been able to be so open with them because I think that it makes them better people. Because when they grow up, they're gonna understand that people have different abilities,
Yeah.
and they're not just gonna be a jerk about it. Like they're so cool. I love that. That's what we
Yeah.
want more of.
Yeah. I mean, because you are quite an advocate of disability, diversity, especially in gaming, and it's that sort of the golden lesson you want your kid to learn is to sort of also be allies and to understand that everybody is coming at gaming differently and to sort of help support each other, sort of thing.
Yeah. And just to be like a good voice in the community. And because there is so much toxicity and unfortunately they're the loudest people and I'm like, come on man, cut it out, because there are so many cool people that are here. I mean, so I want to be louder. Just I'll just annoy you to I'll just nice you to death is what I'll do. I'll be annoyingly nice to you. That's what I'll do. So
Yeah. Yeah, so it's about time that we get into our final section, which I probably know that you're dying to do, is all about gaming and your love of gaming. Basically, I'm asking you if I ask you, what's the best game, or that moment that you always think about when you come to a good gaming moment, like what do you think of?
I think I mean I can't think of one specific one really because I have so many, but I will say that my favorite game of all time is Apex Legends.
Okay.
And it's because of Loba, and it's because I just identified with Loba so much
Okay.
that like that became my personality. And like this is like I'm so glad I just did that. This is like my Loba thing, like my wolf staff. And I
Yeah.
mean, I was playing Apex before, but I wasn't really good at it. And then Loba came out, and I was like, I'm gonna learn this game, and I did. I'm not good, but I can play it. So
What is it about the character that it's just like you're just like, why do you understand it so much? I guess.
I loved that she is basically to me based on she's kind of like a Catwoman character where she'll do what needs to get done, and that's how I feel is I'm very much like yeah, I'm sassy and I'm pretty or whatever, but like I'm a badass too, man. Like I can do some cool stuff. And there's a lot of times that I felt like I wasn't represented in games
Okay.
because Loba, she likes to like basically her ultimate is a shopping thing. It's like the black market, and I'm like I love to shop, and so now I won't play any other character because I just want to shop with Loba because I don't go nowhere. That's the only shopping I do now. So I just love that character, and she just changed my life. Loba is my is my gaming moment. Is whenever they dropped Loba in season 4.
Oh, but and do you obviously you hope that there be in the future more games that have that sort of character. Are you is that something that you want for the future, like more characters like that, or that sort of more narratives around elements around what that logo is all about?
Maybe so. I want to see women and people of all different kinds of backgrounds, groups, abilities, shapes, sizes, everything, because it's been so very basic for so long.
Okay.
And I want gaming to really show everybody.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what gaming is now. Like we're acknowledging there's more people like us playing games than it's live in the straight white teenage boy in his parents' basement. It's not that. I don't think it ever
yeah.
was really. And yeah,
So,
like you say, and to acknowledge that and to put it into the games would you know take it into the next golden era of gaming, really.
that's what I want.
Mhm. You obviously before you were saying that you had several games that were floating around in your brain. Like, which other ones were you sort of thinking of, like when it came to this?
Rocket League, obviously, I've talked about that.
Yeah.
I like to play Cuphead, but I'm not good at it. Um, I can play my one of my favorite games, but I can only play it for so long because it's such a button masher, is Injustice 2.
Okay.
Um, that's my oh my god, I love that whole game. That game is beautiful. That game is so gorgeous. Uh, and I love Dark Alliance because I like to play that game, and I'd like to play with my friends X and Ramel.
Hmm.
So I just like to play games that I can play with people.
Yeah. I think because you mentioned that you thought like the D&D sort of side of things as well, don't you?
Yeah,
I
yeah, I do.
know.
I do D&D because I like to role play and cosplay, and I like to pretend that I'm a healthy person that can do things. So I like to make a whole world about it.
Have you got your eye on like something like Baldur's Gate?
I I haven't what Baldur's Gate is the I've just played Dark Alliance,
Yeah.
that one. So I don't have Baldur's Gate. Do I?
You might have done.
I might have. I don't know. So
Put it on your watch list of things that you might want to play down the line. Might be something right up your alley.
I'm right now. I'm really waiting for Stray.
Straight. Oh
That's what
yeah.
I'm. So I don't know how I'm gonna play it. Oh yeah, I am gonna play it because it's gonna be on PS4, so I'll be able to play it. So
Live your life as a kitty cat.
I've been so excited about that game for years. I was watching it as they were making it, so I'm like, I've been waiting.
Do you
It's,
like
it's my
that?
drop.
That obviously that aspect of gaming is like obviously once things get announced and you can sort of follow the hype train. Do you enjoy actually sort of seeing going on that journey with the developers as they sort of make the game and sort of release more and more? Is that like the aspect of gaming culture that you actually love?
Yeah, I do. Because I like to see, to me, whenever you release a game, it's like an album. So you like to
Mm.
know the making of the album whenever you like listen to music. So wouldn't you want to know the making of the game?
Mm.
Because there's always so many crazy stories, like some server busted out right before you were supposed to get something done, or and those stories are what make the game. And it's just it just makes it beautiful. So yeah, I like to know the background of everything. I want to be like, I want to be a video games journalist someday.
Mm.
So, but right now I'll just be a narrative writer.
That's kind of a cool like sort of ending note of like kind of what you hope to do more in gaming, like with your writing. Do you want to just again, talk more about your life with gaming, your life as a mom and a family, and how that involves gaming. Is that something that you're kind of looking to do down the line or continue doing?
If people want me to, I will. I'd like to be able to do more things and actually go out and help people than be the face of something. But I understand the need for a face of something. So we'll see where it goes. But I know that this is my realm and I belong here. And I love it. You can't make me leave unless you want me to, I guess. Oh, that's the anxiety. You can't make me leave unless you tell me to.
Oh, oh god, you're so loopy sometimes. But yeah, that's kind of that's nice. That's the thing, and that's the thing we need sometimes. Is to put ourselves out there more, especially because this whole reason this podcast exists is to sort of show more representation of people with disabilities, health conditions, neurodiversity, and we need more people to be like, hey, yeah, I belong in that group, this is what I'm doing because I'm effing awesome.
Are you interested? Like that's basically that's how we should look at our stuff, though, is whenever you release things, you need to be releasing things, and that's your resume, because people don't know what you can do if you don't tell them.
Yeah.
So
excellent point.
I'm so brilliant.
But we have, I think, come pretty much to the end of our time, unfortunately.
Hey,
but
I'm good.
Yeah, if you just want to say where people can find you on social media, obviously we mentioned it, you have a Twitch channel. Obviously, got other things out there if you want to just plug yourself.
All right. Well, you can find me on Twitch at as Mahatmama. You can put me in the search bar and put Mahatmama into the Twitch, and that's where I'll be. And you can also put Mahat_Mama into the search bar at Twitter and Instagram.
Sorry, just the instructions are clearly come off that's a mom. That's a mom.
Yeah, no, that is specifically for my parents, like for the grandparents that I know will end up listening to this, because I get these stupid questions, and I love them.
Oh, bless.
From my mother. She's gonna kill me.
Well, I don't know. She may become the the number one listener for DNA games, so she may become my fan. I'm just saying, I might steal her from you.
Oh yeah, she'll probably love you, so don't even worry about it. She'll be your number one fan.
Oh, but I am excited to see how you develop. It's in a strange way. It feels like the start of your proper gaming journey and gaming career, but I think you're going to make an impact in some way, and I'm excited to see what that could be. And I'm so appreciative of what you've already done, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go. And I hope you continue to do it to create content, because I think games need you.
Okay.
No pressure.
Oh no, that's thank you. Like, it comes with a lot of hate from random people, especially being a girl. I'm a girl, but like being a lady, and it feels really good to know that I'm doing something good. So thank you. I want to be helping humanity somehow. Jesus.
But yeah, that's unfortunately at the end of our episode, and once again, thank you for being a guest, Neera, or Mahatmama, if you get I'll find you everywhere else. But yeah, thank you, and if you like I say, again, I forget how to end these episodes these days. Thank you everybody for everyone listening, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Go give Mahatmama a follow. And we'll see you again next time on DNA Games. So, bye-bye.
Bye.
Once again, thanks Neera, who's better known as Mahatmama online. All her details will be in the description, so make sure you check it out. Make sure you follow DNA Games on iTunes, Spotify and YouTube. And also you can find us on Twitter at ManyCatsCIC. Hope to see you again next time.